All right, everybody, welcome to SlapSon. This week's episode, we have got KO Chris. He's in the building. We finally landed him. Got a crazy story. Oh my gosh, is that guy got a story? We also have Duane Crespo, one of the OGs of the podcast, man. So excited to have him on. The Iron Giant himself. Got caught up last time we spoke. It was more around just power slap, his career, things like that. And we definitely touch on that with his interview this week. However, it was fun because he fought Yoel Romero in, I think it was Dirty Boxing. I might be drawing a blank here, but the Dirty Boxing promotion with Mike Perry. So we talked all about that. And then we dove into his career. He's got a new contract. He's got big plans for it. And like I said, with KO Chris, such an interesting guy. And with Dwayne, we're just getting caught up with him. I hope you guys like it. Check it.
3, 2, 1, yeah, that's a knockout. They call me kamikaze, put you in heaven's lobby. On gas, no brakes, you can never stop me. Nah, no, you can never stop me. Yeah, cause I'm the power slap king.
SlapSon, baby! All right, everybody. Welcome to SlapSon. We got the man in the building, one of the OGs, baby. This isn't Dwayne the Rock. This is Dwayne the Giant. You feel me? He fights Yoel Romero on short notice. He switches weight classes. He's coming for everything in 2025. It's just what I hear. He may have signed a new deal. I don't know. But he's coming for something in the slap game. Everybody, give it up for Duane Crespo!
What a intro, man.
My man.
I got chills. That was great.
Hey, so interview's done. We can go home.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, thank you so much. Hey, everyone who's listening and watching, it's crazy. Life just happens, right? So next thing I know, school's out. My kid has to get allergy shots. My wife needs a ride to like some Galentine shit. I don't know what they do with those things. And then Dwayne's like, "Hey, are we still on for this interview?" And I'm going, "Oh yeah, no, we're going." So shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, man. No, he's good. But dude, I swear to you, when I think I might have been one of the last people to find out, honestly. But when I saw you were fighting Yoel, I was like, what the hell? This guy's out of his mind. So I want to start there. Like, I want to know who DM'd you or called. I want to know how much notice you actually had. Just the whole experience going into, it was Mike Perry's promotion, right?
Yeah. Dirty Boxing.
Dirty Boxing, baby. That's right. So I want to know all about it. Just go.
So what's funny is we reached out. I found out that Dirty Boxing thing was a thing. So I reached out to the matchmaker, and they're like, yeah, we'll definitely put you on a card. And I was supposed to fight a low-level heavyweight. And so we signed a contract for that. He signed everything like that. And that fell through. My opponent ended up dropping, and they couldn't find a replacement for me. No one said yes to me. So I was like, all right, whatever. But then 6 days before the event, they said, hey, I don't know if you would say yes or not, but we got Yoel Romero. His opponent just dropped. Would you want him? I was like, sure. They're like, we're not sure if commission will let you because technically the way the commission works, you need a certain amount of fights to fight experienced people. And yeah, I'm a professional fighter, but you need more than 6 fights to fight like a guy like Yoel Romero. And so I was like,
got it.
I was like, yeah, I'll do it if they let me. Commission said no at first, and I told them straight up, I was like, hey, no one will say yes to Yoel Romero on 6 days notice. No one's gonna do it. Absolutely not. I will be the only person to say yes. And they're like, we'll find out. 2 days passed, and then they're like, hey, everybody kept saying no. They're like, are you still willing to fight Yoel Romero? I was like, now it's on 4 days notice. And I'm like, I just stopped dieting because like I was getting ready, and then I'm like, you know what, it's over. I was like, yeah, of course I'll do it. We'll figure it out. So just went there, figured it out.
Wow. So they approached you, and then you kind of told them what was up as far as like, hey, dude, no one's gonna fight this beast on less than a week's notice, and you were right.
Well, my thing is, so I had to make it. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best fighters in the world. But I had to put it in even grounds. So I told him, I was like, I can never make 205, and I think him fighting heavyweight gives us even grounds. He's a 205 fighter, 185 fighter. He's never fought a heavyweight. So I think that, like, yeah, he's way more experienced, but the heavyweight division could be one punch and everything changes, you know? So I told him, like, it would have to be a heavyweight. There can't be nothing else like that. And they're like, yeah, he's going to say yes no matter what. Like, I figured. But I figured that was even ground, you know?
That's crazy, man. So does he walk around that heavy, or he's heavy enough to be a heavyweight?
Well, so you just have to be over 207, but he weighed in
Okay.
he weighed in at 235, which was, I thought he was going to walk in at 220.
Well, dude, so, you know, I'm watching it on Instagram, and then, you know, the just the whole thing, really. And he looked fucking huge. You came in such short notice. Then you got this guy who seems to always just be in shape, whether that's God-given or hard work or a little bit of both. I guess we'll never know. Did you, honestly, man, like, this is such a cliche question, but I got to ask because, you know, I'm just such an MMA nerd. Did you feel any type of emotion, or was it just like, this is just another dude?
When I got like, when it was official, I was freaking out. I was like, there's no way.
I love the
There's-
honesty.
I was like, this is crazy. And honestly, like, you fighters have self-doubt all the time. And like in the beginning, I had like, hey, it's Yoel Romero. Like, yeah, I'm a good striker, but I'm not there yet. You know, I was supposed to fight an easy fight, and now I'm fighting the hardest fight on the planet. So like, I don't know. But then like I was like, hey, told my buddy who was gonna corner me in Florida. I was like, hey, how you feel about cornering against Yoel Romero? He's like, what? And we took it seriously. And like, obviously, like after the first day of us just being like, hey, I don't know why we're doing this. They were like, you know what? It's a heavyweight fight. We've seen crazier stuff. So then we started taking that really seriously. And once I got in the ring, I realized that he respected heavyweight power because he fought differently than he's ever fought before. Usually he takes shots and doesn't move around. He didn't want to get hit at all. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is a fight, you know?
There might be something here.
Yeah, for sure.
So on such short notice, like, how do you train? I mean, obviously you have a fighting background, right? Like we talked about that the first time you were on, but like, it's not always training for what you did. So how do you train on 72 hours notice? Like,
You don't get a camp. So 4 days notice is just how you are, how you're in shape now, how you've been training before. Usually, so I'm good at game plans. I had a great game plan for them. But the way that camps work out is you have your game plan for like 2 months,
right.
and you're never gonna forget it. Like your body's just gonna do it no matter what. Nothing's gonna surprise you. 4 days notice, you have a good game plan, but you haven't been practicing the game plan every day. So like, is your body gonna continue to do what you're supposed to? Like, there's a moment in the fight where he just jumped randomly. My whole game plan was to make sure I had never had space. So always in front of him, always walking forward. And once he jumped, I took a step back.
Dude,
I now did what I was
see.
not supposed to. But in a camp, you get rid of everything. You like always, you work on it so much every single day that it's second nature, you know?
Yeah. And so oh, that's interesting because so obviously the opponent is the opponent, and just the fight in general, no matter who you're fighting or where you're fighting is the fight, right? But that's interesting. Did you try and like sit quietly and kind of visualize more to try and, you know, really get in that zone? Or was it just, this is my game plan, however it plays out, it plays out?
Yeah, it's more like, you have to stick to the plan. Like, that's just how fights work, especially at high level. Like, the better coaching, the better game plan will win a fight. And so, like, as long as I stayed true to it, I knew that. And just, there's a split second where he makes you doubt the plan, you know? So, like, that's what he needed because he's an elite guy. I think what he landed just the one punch shows just exactly what he needed to do in the moment. So, yeah, so obviously, if I had enough time, it'd be probably like a better, I don't know what the word is, but just to be able to finish the game plan correctly, you know?
Yeah. Just, I mean, honestly, just to give yourself a better shot, you know, I mean, frankly.
But then again, no one's accepting a fight on 4 days notice. No one's doing that. Everybody was telling me I was crazy. I was just like, hey, I know everything that you're saying. I get it.
I get it.
How are you going to say no to an opportunity like this? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're in a fight where, like, I've been fighting for like 10 years. Like, the one time I get an opportunity of a lifetime, I'm just gonna be like, That
I mean,
makes no
that show,
sense.
no, dude, what a way to show off your character too. I mean, talk about anytime, anywhere, any place, any person. Like, dude, you can't get more concrete evidence that you're a fighter, after doing that, which is, it's amazing, man. So what happens with dirty boxing and all that? Was that like a one and done? Do you get a freaking rematch? Like, how does that work now?
But that'd be up to them if they ever want to bring me back. But I'm doing powerslap now. Like I just signed a contract with them. I'm probably gonna be with them for where I don't have to fight outside of it. So I think it's gonna be a little bit more often, so I don't have to like try to find a paycheck somewhere else.
Got you. So the so let's take a step back real quick. So they offered you a new contract, so you're signed up for however many fights, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. But that sounded like good news in the sense of they did you well enough that you could just now focus on slap.
Well, so the thing is, like, when you get your first contract, it's basically like a trial period. Like, you don't really know if they like you to bring you back, kind of thing, and you could do
Okay.
well and they not bring you back.
Yeah, break
So
that
like
down.
everyone that has the first contract, I never thought I was like in the league yet, because like everyone
Interesting.
gets a first contract. My contract's up, and then they send me a new one. Now I'm like, okay, cool. I've been here for a while now, and I will be here for another 2 years. So like I understand. Like now I'm like, okay, now I'm in power set.
Got it. Got it. So
Like now
it's
I'm officially in the roster.
yeah, no, that's awesome. So it's more like even if those other things are true, it's more like, okay, I know where I'm at and I can focus.
Yeah. Before it's like I didn't know when the next fight would be. Now I know there will be one. So whenever it happens, it happens.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's huge, man. Congratulations on that. I
Thank you.
love it's so cool to me. I mean, I really do kind of nerd out that we're all part of this. You, me, everyone in this little weird niche, slap world. We're all these slap nerds, you know what I mean? And like what you just described, what happened to you, that's a new thing. Like that isn't the norm yet. I mean, it's getting there, but I love hearing that backstory, that little tea, because it's showing that there's still so many things to like step forward towards, so many things to like, smooth out and create to make this like where it seems like it's going. And that's re-signing guys like you that are anytime, any place, anywhere, formulating the rules, everything. It's just so fun to me to see it all kind of like be this fucking weird mess, but it's going to be okay. Like it's going to shape up.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. It was like now I know that there will be more instead of just like, did I do enough? And so like, now I'm like, oh, cool, we're there. Now I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to bother them. I don't have to call them. They're gonna call me. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then they know that I will say yes to every fight if I haven't shown that already. I've said yes to short notice fights. I'm not a huge fan of doing that only because now I have a daughter and it's kind of hard to find daycare on like 3 days notice. So, but other than that, like the Dane fight, my last Parasite fight, that was 9 days notice. That was just a
So,
phone call. Hey, you want to fight in 9 days? I was like, yep. So we'll figure
man,
it out. I'll find daycare. We'll
I'll
figure it
make
out.
it happen. I'll make it happen. So, man, number one, let's hope they give you a bit more notice. But I got to tell you, the March card, it's longer than 9 days notice anyway. Are there any aspirations to get on the Vegas card?
They already told me that I'm not on that card. So hopefully I'm on a future one, but yeah, that one, not that one.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, do you have any idea if you're going to stay in the weight class that you're at in slap, or are we going to move around a little bit?
I believe they moved me to super. I think that's just where they're going to keep me.
We're going to keep you there.
I think so. I don't think they're going to bring me back to heavyweight because the whole reason they moved me was to move the division. It's because they needed
Interesting.
contenders. I was beating all the contenders. So they couldn't have people fight the belt. Now I'm gone and there's 4 more contenders now. So
Yeah,
like
that's true.
you put me back down there, it's the same thing. Am I getting a title shot or am I just beating contenders?
Yeah. Yeah. If you just murking contenders all day and not getting a shot, it's probably time to move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
dude. So what do you think about Dumpling, man? I mean, that's your target now. Yeah, it's got to be.
Well, me and the belt were talking about this. Dumpling is the biggest threat in Power Set, one of the bigger threats, because he's an
How so?
IQ fighter. He's an IQ fighter. He's just like me. He's just like Bell, like Wolverine. We're thinking up there. Not every slap fighter goes up there and thinks. They always do. You've seen it. They always do the same thing over and over again for 3 rounds. They don't adjust. Nothing happens, and they either win or lose. We're thinking. The gears are turning, you know. And you just saw the difference of like Dumpling had the information he had on the first fight, and then he went home and came back a whole different person. Way more skill set, way different thing. Had a better strategy, and that's dangerous because now you have a person that's thinking up there as your opponent, and it used to be easy fights, and now you have like, okay, this dude's gonna adjust once I'm start winning, then he's gonna start winning. I have to adjust. We're gonna have to go back and forth, and you know,
Dude, no, and you could even tell he was even more relaxed. One of my favorite parts of that card was just him and Crazy like yakking at each other. Like he wasn't backing down. It was awesome to just see that energy. And you're right. He had his shot. He went back and calculated, and then came back with a little bit of a different game plan. That's huge. Yeah, you have to evolve. You know, it's funny. I was just talking with Bryce yesterday, Bryce Jones, and it comes out tomorrow. This one comes out next week, I think, but you should watch it because he talks about exactly what you're saying. He's like, look, I'm quiet on this, on that, but I'm thinking up there. A lot of guys, they don't adjust, they don't listen to coaches. And I think for guys like you and Bryce, you know, it can only help you, right? To just see the different angles, the different ways of getting in there and finding the button.
well, there's more like I'll go back to the Dumpling fight. Watch what he did in the 4th and 5th round of the rematch. He knew he was up by 3 points. He's up by 3 points. Why go club? Why try to make mistakes and make the fight closer than it is? So he ended up hitting super light on purpose on the 4th and 5th rounds, and he won the 4th round. And they gave him the 5th round too, because like Crazy Wine just wasn't doing much. But the 4th round, Crazy Wine made another mistake. So now Dumpling's up by 4 points. And again, no mistakes, no clubbing, no accidentally knocking him out on a DQ. Literally just hit the target. And he was like, I won. He didn't do enough for me to adjust.
Got you. Do you see Crazy and him going at a trilogy, or they throw someone else at Dumpling?
Yeah, they'll definitely throw something away. Also, Crazy wants to leave.
Yeah, he's getting skinny, isn't he?
Let him. That's fine, whatever. But no. Technically, you have to remember, rematches have to be warranted. He lost. He didn't win 2 times against Dumpling.
Got you.
So like, they fought twice, and he didn't win 2 times.
So
like, yeah, the first one was a draw, but that counts. He didn't win.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, a draw is not a win or loss. Yeah, that's real, man. Yeah, and with him switching weight classes, and now we kind of got this new energetic face, right, of the super heavyweights. You don't want to fight contenders. You don't want to in the heavyweight division. Do you want to fight contenders in super heavyweight to prove your stuff, or are you just like, give me the freaking title shot?
Well, so when I was in heavyweight, they just said that they didn't want the rematch between me and the belt. So I was never getting a title fight.
Got
so
you.
It
wasn't happening.
Yeah, it wasn't happening.
Okay.
So it made no sense for me to be there while beating everyone else in line. Like people I beat were getting title shots. It's like they're getting.
Is that hard to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which is fine. But then they moved me to super, so now I'm like, cool. There's an opportunity for title shots. I am not opposing contenders. Period. Like if they give me a contender in heavyweight, cool. It's just it makes no sense if they don't want me to fight a title.
I see.
I could fight a title of super. Perfect.
That'd be kind of insane, right, Dwayne? Like your first match is like a title shot or whatever, and you come in, and that could be an insane storyline. That would be nuts.
Well, my first fight in super was the #1 contender.
That's true. So it should be you, bro. Yeah,
they ranked me low. They ranked me low, but it's fine.
You know what, though? I think rankings are important, obviously, but I don't know, man. It's the fight game, right? It's just, and one thing we've learned about the UFC, so in turn, we've learned about Dana White, and we know he's modeling the UFC and Slap very hand in hand, right? He puts on the fights that people want to see. So the rankings are important, I feel, to have that foundation or to have like a clear winner. But other than that, it's just kind of like, what does the audience want to see within those rankings? You know what I mean? So you never know.
Yeah, that's all said. They're going to look for storylines and stuff, and they'll find something for me. Like I said, like now I know that I will get more fights. So I know they're thinking about it. They're just trying to find the right fit. Like it probably doesn't make sense for me to fight new people. Like if I'm thinking as them, because like I've fought 8 fights and I have the most wins in powerslap. Probably don't make sense to fight someone who's debuting, because would they have an opportunity to win? Probably not,
Yeah.
But they're probably thinking of something, like they're good at what they do, and I'm just here to fight now.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, dude, what's going on, man? We haven't talked in a minute. I mean, you had these fights. You got a new contract under your belt. Like, how is the daughter? How is the fam and all that, dude?
Yeah, the daughter's great.
Good.
She's almost walking. She's almost 10 months, and it's been crazy.
Yeah, I remember seeing on Instagram you pushing that stroller, and I thought, oh, my guy's doing it. He's got another one.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like I'm thankful to have the platform like powerslap where I don't have to worry about like 9 to 5 job every single day. Like I'm with my daughter like a stay-at-home dad basically every single day.
That's
And
awesome.
4 times a year I'll hop on a plane for a couple days, and that pays my bills for a year. So I'm thankful.
Such a good perspective, dude. Because, wow, that's such a good perspective. I love that. It always feels like we just always need all this shit, like more and more and more. And you're just like, nah, I do my thing. I fight 4 times a year and I get to see my kid. Dude, that's beautiful. That's amazing.
It's true. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about a story that I had for in Dirty Box. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Go for it, man.
So I don't know how much you saw up to the fight, because I wasn't allowed to announce anything. It's a private event. I wasn't supposed to announce who I'm fighting till they did it. And they did it at weigh-in day. So the day before, people are like freaking out the day before. And then the day of, Mike Perry, he goes on his Instagram and he makes a joke. And he goes, hey, the main event is canceled. Yoel Romero's opponent backed out today. So I'm stepping in to fight Yoel Romero. And it was a joke.
Yeah.
No one knew it was a joke. The amount of messages I've gotten like on fight day, like, why'd you cancel? Why'd you cancel? I got like 200 messages.
No
I was
kidding.
I was tagged all over Twitter for different media saying that I ruined the main event. I ruined the card. Why'd you back out? And I'm just like, we're on our way now. Yeah, like I was very confused. And it was like that the whole time. Bad things happen on fight weeks all the time, but that stuff gets in your head a little bit. Because like you're supposed to be feeling good on fight day, and now like everyone's bashing you on the internet. You're just like, I was like, why? No, like he was joking.
Dude. They
But then,
just
what's funny? So like, I get all those calls. I'm going live, just hey, I'm fighting, and then we get on the SUV. I'm still getting it, seeing everything. We head there to the event. I get there, and everyone there's 2 locker rooms. There's 2 locker rooms, and then there's like the individual room for Yoel, and then there's the individual room for myself. So we go into the one locker room with all the fighters in it, and every single one of them was just like, "Are you feeling okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" They're like, "Why are you not fighting?" I'm like, "No, bro." He was like, my parents joking, man. He was like,
even in the locker room, they didn't know.
yeah, everyone they just assumed that wasn't.
Dude. Were you losing your mind? Like, shut up. I'm fighting.
Yeah,
Like, I'm here. Why would I come to the locker room if I'm not fighting?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I'm here. Like they're like, well, we saw the post. I was like, he was joking. I was like, I thought it was obvious that he was joking. Hey, all publicity is good publicity.
I guess so, man. Yeah, no, that's real. It's not about good or bad press. I guess it's just press. Did Mike say anything afterwards? Like, hey, man, sorry, that kind of blew up. That jerk. We got to get that dude on the pod and be like, hey, man, what are you doing to my boy? You can't fuck with him like that.
I don't think he even noticed that like that was the thing, because like he just posted it and then went on his way. But then, like I said, all the media kept tagging me. I was tagged and stuff saying, "Oh, why'd you ruin it? Crespo ruins main event. Why would you leave the day of?" Like, I'm dressed. I was like, I'm getting my hands wrapped right now. Like, I gotta just stop like looking at my phone.
Yeah, dude, that's a do not disturb epic moment. Like, I don't need this right now. I'm getting my hands wrapped. Dude, that's unbelievable. I do know, a positive twist and all that is, yeah. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I had no idea, right? Like, and then all of a sudden, in the slap community, everybody's reposting Dwayne. And I'm like, what the hell? So that's how I found out. And then I reposted a couple because I'm like, what the hell's going on? It was like
Yeah.
this, you know, it was, I'm surprised it didn't get out sooner, to be honest.
Well, they kept the secret. No one even knew Yoel was fighting on that card. So like
But
once
no
he did
fighter was like
weigh-ins,
chattering. No one was like, being,
no one knew.
that's
No
amazing.
one. The only person that knew was the people that made the fight and myself.
Man.
So like they found out that Yoel was on the card. Like the other fighters, they found out that Yoel was on the card when they sent them the card of like because you get a fight card in the order of where you're fighting, and it shows the time your shuttle goes to the event. So you see everyone's name on there. And so now you're looking at the card like, oh, cool, this person's on there. Oh, cool, that person's on there. But on top it says Yoel Romero. You're like, what? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, it definitely was a fun show. Like the atmosphere seemed pretty cool. They had the floor look kind of like wood and all that kind of stuff. So
Bruh, the event, like, I brought the bell there too. He was one of my corners.
very cool.
The event was like a movie. Like, you ever watch a movie where they have like underground fights? And
Yeah.
there's like, and like invite only, and it's just like this cool little smoke everywhere. Like, that's exactly how it was.
Wow.
Like, it was invite only. No one was allowed to come. When you got there, it was like hard to get into the building. So it was definitely like a movie feel. And you get there, it's like smoke and the lights, and there's like celebrities there for no reason. It was definitely like a movie feel. Like John Jones is chilling right there. It's just like, it's like, oh, this is crazy.
Felt like you're walking on a movie set, man.
That's what I thought. I was like, I like the big sets that Powerslap does, like the big fights, the millions of people watching. But then there's something cool about the underground warehouse.
Yeah.
It was kind of just like the movie nerd in me was just like, this is kind of sick.
It's like an updated, it's like, you know what it looked like? It was Bloodsport and Cinderella Man had a baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It was really cool to watch. And like they let me walk. Like usually during a fight day, you don't get to walk through the crowd. And they're like, yeah, go look. They're like, cool. And so they escorted me to walk around the crowd and like look at the ring and stuff as fights are going on. I was like, that's sick.
That's really cool. Yeah, that really doesn't happen. That's awesome.
It prevents injury, but they're just like, yeah, go ahead. And it's not like people know me anyway, so I'm just like skating through.
Don't slip. Man, what a crazy thing to go through. I mean, honestly, and it really does show that you're game. You know what I mean? Like you're ready to go anytime, man. I love that so much. That's cool.
I will say the only thing I did hate about the whole thing was the lack of information people have is crazy. So like all the comments and all the people talking to me, all the interviews I did during, after, were just like, why is a power slap fighter fighting Yoel Romero? I'm like, I fight first.
Yeah.
Like I've been fighting
Slap
for 10.
found me.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
second. Like, yeah, slap is the most popular thing I'm doing. It's what I'm known for the most because it's the biggest platform. But like, I'm a kickboxer. I've been kickboxing for like 10 years. Like I've been fighting for a long time. And then so it's not like unheard of for me to fight someone. And so I hated that part.
Yeah.
And especially like even power slap fighters are like, why would you do that? I'm like, you don't even know me apparently. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, it's funny, man.
I fight.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I saw some of those comments as well, and they just, yeah, like you said, they just don't know you. They just see you from what they know you of. They don't know your background. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're just trying to
that's what I'm
get
saying.
some eyeballs.
And it takes just 1 second to like know information. Like none of the fighters messaged me and said, why am I doing it? Like the ones that with pro backgrounds, like no one.
Zero.
Yeah, not one person. It was always the people with no fight background. Were like, wait, what? Why would you fight? Like you don't know how to fight? I'm like, no, I technically don't know how to slap still, because like I'm doing that way less than I've been doing fighting.
You just DMing them links to all your Muay Thai fights, kickboxing.
Yeah,
this is the real thing. This is the real thing. Yeah.
And the way that commission works is they're not going to put people up there that don't know what they're doing. You know?
No. Like I was just gonna say, like you said, even on the notice alone, they may have not allowed you. So yeah, that's real.
Yeah, and the only reason why they let me, and this is true, is because it wasn't MMA. Because they wouldn't have let me do MMA against Yoel because he has 30 fights and I have 2 pro MMA fights. That would never happen. It was the fact that it was custom rules and I've done kickboxing. And so like we're meeting in the middle, doing boxing. So I was like, I was allowed to do it. It had nothing to do with slap. So it's just like,
Now that you might have already, I don't know if you answered this or not, but now that you are locked into slap, we kind of know we're up for it. We're here for the next couple of years. Are you allowed to do one-off stuff like that, or is it you can't do that anymore?
I can with notice if I gave
Okay,
him like a crazy amount of notice. But my thing is, it's not worth it. So, the way, like, let's say a fight badly happens, like something like I lose, there's the, there's now a time period where I can't fight for slap, and the money in regular fights doesn't match slap. So, like, the Yoel is different. I'm getting money to fight Yoel Romero. That made sense to put, like the risk there because I'm getting more money than I normally would. But now, unless I'm like, it's a crazy opportunity, I don't see myself taking it.
that's smart. I mean, yeah, I was just curious because I know we have a few. There's a couple floaters in slap, right? That go do like a bare knuckle fight or an MMA fight, and they kind of go back and forth. So
Yeah, but like I said, they've had that background before. They mentioned, hey, we'll do power slap, but this is what we do, and like it's the same thing. We just I would say I'm a like mid-level fighter in pro, so I'm not making crazy money. Like I'll say like I'll make like on average probably like 2K a fight,
right,
and I make way more than slap. So for me to risk for $5,000, it don't make sense when I know the very next fight I will make, way more. So I just wait.
yeah, I'll just hang tight. I'm good,
I just wait.
dude. Well, Dwayne, man, you sound good, bro. Like you're looking like you're smiling. Life's good. Like, this is cool, man. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, it's a good time. Like I said, fighters have self doubt a lot, and getting a contract, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
It-
it's like I know I'm gonna get another one. I know at least one more. Like, I got sits on my contract, but I know at least one more.
no, that's way cool, man. That's way cool. What else we got, man? Do we cover it? What do you think?
It could be a lot of things. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I could talk about a lot of stuff for like ever, I imagine.
yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, dude, where can everybody find you on social? Like Instagram, TikTok, all that shit.
Every platform, I'm Iron Giant _ slap. Um, I'm trying to think of like cool things to do in the future because like you can't fight forever. So I know that me and the Bell like talked about hinting like a podcast of our own. And then other things, I know that I want to do some kind of coaching. So like, if anyone has like ideas for me to do stuff, I'm down to hear it. So
Okay. I love it, man. I love it. And I got the name for your podcast, Double D's, baby. All day long. Double D's. You got it.
oh,
No,
you're
fantastic. Everybody, listen.
before I go though, I want to
Yeah,
show you something.
yeah, yeah. What's he grabbing?
Where like yeah, Yoel Romero signed these shoes.
Damn, that's cool. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. We like the I'm looking down at Dwayne now for those that are watching. Dude, that's badass. I love that shit. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's pretty
I know
sick.
you'd like this. I'll show you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Dwayne and I were talking cards the other day, everybody. We got that's fun shit. That's fun. Are those the shoes that you wore or he wore?
Yeah, the shoes I wore.
That's so cool.
I tried to get my shorts signed, but we couldn't find a gray Sharpie. They only had a black one. So I was like, all right, I guess the boxing shoes have to go.
It's got to go on the shoes. Dude, that's way cool. Yeah, everybody, I would just follow along this guy's journey, man. Really, like the sport is so young and he has so much experience. He just signed a new deal. Like you're going to be seeing his face. So follow him, follow his journey. And Dwayne, my guy, thank you so much for coming on, man. I
For
appreciate
sure,
it.
man. Always.
All right, let me let this bitch upload. Something on my mic here. Hold on. Can't have that now. Oh, man, what the fuck is that, dude? Okay, now we're ready. All right, everybody. Welcome to SlapSon. We got the man in the building. Can you believe it? He's here. He's a knockout, yo. He's a knockout, yo. He's KO Chris, baby. March 7th, coming for chins, coming for straps, coming for the whole thing. Bet on him. Don't bet on him. You'll know when you did wrong when he gets on the stage. You feel me? Everybody give it up for KO.
Thank you.
Dude, hey, nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you too, brother.
How you been?
I've been good. I had a rough year last year, was kind of making excuses, I figured out my excuses were my downfall. And I'm off on a new page, new level. I brought myself back to feeling good, feeling pumped. Um, just back on it.
Dude, so has it been testing your patience at all? Like, are you getting agitated? Like, what was going on during this whole time?
I'm a real rule stickler. Like when it comes to like when we started power slap, it was feet completely flat, 4 points of your hand and your fingertips at the same time hit. And it's just like I see a lot of people get scared and then they add stuff, I catch on to everything. And then their feet scooting across the ground or they're stepping. I lost my championship belt, off a pretty bad step. But I get that they need the hype for the sport, and we didn't want to end the show with him getting called, on his shit. I know it was a nice knockout. He got me knocked out. That's the best way to end the show, I'd say.
I mean, that's a positive way to look at it for sure, man. For sure.
I used to look at it real bad.
So we've had time to heal. I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like when they finally gave you the call for March? Was it like a DM? How did it go down?
Oh, Erica just reaches out to me. It's all on her. Just leaving it up to her. It's been a better experience, trusting her and versus being, hard headed and going against what everybody's saying. Yeah, it was good. I got a message from her and then she told me my opponent, but she said, don't say anything because I guess every time we get close to something, it feels like somebody runs away and it sucks. It really leaves me hanging.
Dude, it's funny. I think everyone can agree with that. So far in the sport, because everything's happening so fast, it's like the card doesn't get put together, it feels like, till like 2 weeks out sometimes. And they're just rushing and rushing. So that's kind of cool. They gave you more notice than they could have.
Yeah, they could have. And then Erica, especially her being overwhelmed. Plus, I know I irritate her sometimes because I'm not, I'll bug for a match until I get one, I guess. But I mean, she's been patient. She's been good with me. And we owe a lot of love to her and Frank for, what they're doing for us. Because in the long run, if you look at it in a positive way, it's just going to pay off. And I already know it's going to all pay off. Just, what you think about, you bring about. I really believe in that. And if you're being a miserable piece of shit and complaining about everything, you're going to be a miserable piece of shit. And I'm tired of that. I want love, I want happiness, and I want to bring back I want to amplify my next performance. Like I want people to see me,
Like who you actually are turning into as a man.
Yeah, like I want to bring the show back. Like my first 5 fights, I was so much hyped. I was so into it. And then like I let my head and my fears get the best of me the last two. Like, and once you do that, you can't do that in a power slap sport. Especially when you're taking a hit to the face, you need to get rid of all that shit. You need to know before you go up on that stage what's going to happen, period. And I've been able to call my shots out my mouth and walk my talk every time. And the last 2 times I haven't been able to walk my talk, but my confidence wasn't behind it. You could see the big difference on my walkouts. And this time I'm going to bring back the fireworks, so I'm ready.
I'm excited, man. So do you feel like those first couple of years in the game, how you're just talking, how you're a bit more, should we say like vocal and brash? What really was the turning point of, I'm not going to do that so much anymore. I'm just going to kind of bring back the entertainment side, not so much the controversy side.
It just, I got to look at the whole picture. I got to be grateful. Power Slap created my name. Dana, Frank, Erica, they gave me the opportunity to create a new name for myself. Now, this name that I'll be able to use, I'll be able to change people's lives with. My story, my backstory, all that stuff will come together. And then this new story that I created with Power Slap and everything that's happening around me, it's going to be able to change people's lives. Because no matter where you come from, you deserve good outcome. You know what I mean? As long as you're putting in the work, you deserve what you got coming. 1 second, brother. Let me plug in my phone because it's on 3%. I don't want it to cut you off.
No, you're totally fine, man. You're good. While you do that, I'll put mine on Do Not Disturb.
I don't want you to cut diamonds.
All right, hang tight. The best part of the interview is coming up. I got a beverage I can pour. Hold on, bro.
Once. Yes, sir. Good angle. Damn. It's a caffeine.
Yeah, look. Now it's a show. Now we can get going.
Hell yeah.
Dude, you got that charger all right?
Yes, sir. I got it.
Cool. All right, man. Let's do this up. I've been hustling any energy drink I can think of, I've been hitting them up to sponsor the pod so I don't have to pay for these things anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's smart though, man. Those things become expensive, brother.
Bro, I remember when they were $1.50. Now they're like $4, some of them. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I just want to get my fix. Why are raising the price on me? Dude. All right. So, yeah, I love that. You know, it's funny. I was following you like 4 months ago, like pretty heavily, watching all your stories, looking at your posts. And then, you probably know better than I do. But once you start getting more into the sport and more into this niche, it just gets more busy,
Yeah.
And so when you hit me up on the DM, I got excited, man, because then I went back and I was getting caught up on your life a little bit. You know what I mean? Even yesterday or the day before, you can see the changes going on with you, my guy, because I mean, talk a little bit about what you're doing. And is it Africa or what's going on there?
It's just Uganda. It's Uganda.
Uganda.
There's like a 21 or 20-year-old kid there that, he lost his parents during COVID time, his mom and dad, so he's all alone. And just that story alone breaks my heart. But what he does every day for those kids, like they have a little compound made up, they keep it safe. They got a little razor wire around the thing, and they try to, we were able to gain books for them and some food, because some days they go without food, it's crazy. And our American dollar goes a long way there. I don't know, it's just sad to me. I can't wait. I want to make it a goal of mine to go visit and sit with them all and just help build up. And I know how to build. I know how to do concrete. Find a way to make their place in their area better, because some parts of the country, they don't offer nothing, bro. Like they just say, go fend for yourself. Like no job opportunities, nothing, It's sad to me.
Yeah, it's and do you think all of that is just a part of your transitioning to be a better version of yourself? Or is that or has that been around a little bit, as far as like volunteering your time and things like that? Or is this part of this whole transition that you're doing?
I think I've always had the heart to want to do that. It's just, I think I just get in my own way. Like I'm my own downfall, brother. And the thing about me is I love people, dude. I'm a lover, bro. I have the biggest heart ever. Like I've taken my shirt off my back and my jacket and given to a person that I knew was cold, Like that's the type of person I am. I don't need to go do videos of me giving out stuff to people or stuff like that. The only reason why I did that video is because I want people to hopefully follow what I'm doing and, trust what I'm saying. And, that dude, you can call that dude, video chat that dude, talk to the kids, do all that stuff. And the kid's 100% real. You should be able to feel somebody's energy from talking to him. And he breaks my heart, dude. He's got like these couple dudes following him around since, I've been started with them, they're just fucking with them. So like, we're trying to figure out a way to keep him safer, versus he just doesn't need to talk about anything he gets and just buy what he needs and then get back to where he's at. Like, it's just sad because he just said he sees some new faces around, since I've been involved, and I don't want me being involved to get him hurt or caught up in something.
Like maybe jealousy and things like that from his peers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, man. Wow, look at you. How'd you even get hooked up with this kid?
Just random, man. It was
For
just
real?
random.
It's like a DM or?
Yeah, DM, and then I didn't, I don't trust most DMs. I go, I don't,
I get that, yeah.
And so I just sat and talked to him. What stole me is when he did video chat me, and I seen this, the background of where he's at. And if it was up to me, man, I would change that whole situation for him all. My goal in the end of the day, just like Dana White knew from the beginning, my goal is to make enough money to be able to invest money. And while investing money, people see that and they donate more. So I just keep the cause going. You know what I mean? And it's in our states too. It's everywhere. It's like, I've been everywhere around here. So it's just like, I see poverty. I see hunger. I see people that, they just, if you just let them know, hey man, I'm here. I care. I love you. I guarantee that'll change a lot of things that they, want to do that day. I don't know. It hurts me talking about it because I love that. I love that dude, man. I tell him I love him. I don't know. He's just a good guy. He's a good kid, and I'm proud of him. And I'm sure his parents are proud of him. And it sucks his situation, but I feel like it's going to change dramatically soon.
Amazing, man. That's amazing. Because you're not just, when you get involved, you can tell. I mean, even in your voice, you can tell that like it's just not a donation of money or food to you. It's like no, you love this kid. You want to make his life better.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
See how excited I get over a book and a pencil. It just makes me, it makes me like, this hurts, man. I would give him everything I have if I could. I would put them all in my house if I could and give him everything I had, you know. To be honest with you, I've been sleeping on the floor for the last week and a half. I don't know what it is, but I do it. I do it for them. I do it. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it much more longer because it's just going to make me look softer. But
no, dude, hey. No. You're
I
100%
know that
fine.
I know that in the end, it's going to all pay off. And like, sometimes we have to make sacrifices our own self to make it make sense. And, I don't know. It's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. I got plans. God's got a plan for me. And one day I'll be able to be a vessel and use my story to change people's lives, and not just change people's lives off my story, be involved in their lives, you know. Have the biggest, I would call it an army, but it's the biggest community you could have and just share with people of all sorts and just be able to go everywhere and just be welcome anywhere and know that when you're going there, they know what you're there for, not there to take or gain anything off of them. You're just there to be there for them.
Yeah. No, I feel that, man, through the camera. Like, I really do. And to sleep on the ground or on the floor the last couple of weeks, I don't think that that's that crazy, because it's just all to be more connected to what you're trying to do, the cause. And it's kind of funny, right? Because slap is so, no pun intended, so in your face, so intense, so, immediate, violent, all that stuff. But if it wasn't for that, you maybe don't find this connection. So one kind of feeds the other, which is amazing.
Exactly. I used to think that in my head, I was like, when I was down on myself, making excuses, blaming, people for my downfalls and shit like that. Like, when I really realized it's like, I have the power to change the situation that I'm in. All these thoughts, these fear thoughts, all this stuff, that's not God talking to me. That's the devil, so like, God's not going to tell you something that's going to make you have anxiety or have fear. He's not going to do that to you. You know what I mean? And once I was able to just pinpoint that little piece, it's over from there. I'm not like perfect right now, but I feel like it just begun. And I started powerslap 3 years ago, but I feel like my story's just beginning.
Whoa, Chris, what's up, man? What a good way to view life. What a good way to be honest about how far you've come, and what a good way to just show that, part of the fun thing for me and fascinating thing for me ever since starting the pod is it's unbelievable how people look at what you guys do and they just brush you off as humans. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They just think, for whatever reason, granted it's 2 seconds on TikTok maybe, so maybe we can give them some leeway there, but getting to know you guys and your story and just everything you said now, slap is a part of that. The sport is a part of that, but it all comes back to you, brother. It's you changing, you know what I mean? It's you getting the money. It's you donating it. It's you becoming a better version of yourself, and to have a simple moment of, something that you might feel, God is speaking to you, or your inner self is speaking to you, whatever it may be, to take that and actually believe it and make you a better human being, bro, that's huge. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feeling, brother. And it's like, I've been in situations where I've needed help, and I've had some good people, they've helped me, you know what I mean? But I feel like they helped me because they know that I would do it for them in a heartbeat. And I kind of grew past that, It's just, last year was definitely a wake up call for me. And the last 2 dudes I lost to, I just, in all reality, I don't need to lose to them. I don't, I just need to go in there and clean house, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, let's talk about it. So, you know who your opponent is. Do you know when they're going to announce that at all?
I don't know. I've had the worst luck with my announcements, brother. I honestly feel like I feel like they're scared. Yeah, I've had Joel Scott twice, never seen him. Me and Joel Scott started at the same time. I've never seen him ever on the stage, and he's still at number 1 or number 2. I'm not complaining much about it, but he's trying to just milk a title shot, and he's done nothing dramatic for the sport that I see. And I don't know why he's in our division. I've never seen him weigh over 5 pounds. He hit the scale at the house. I honestly think he's a lightweight, and he puts on a show and pretends like he cuts all this weight. I don't know. The only thing I can do is just start winning.
Yeah.
and start taking back over. My record's 5-2. I've only had 2 losses, and they were back to back these last 2. And I know what I can bring to the table. I know what I do. I just need to focus in and not let my fears overtake me.
No, I think that's real. And, with the fight game, it's such short-term memory loss. Like, it's literally what have you done lately? So if you get up there and do your thing, those 2, no one's going to care about those 2 losses. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's just how it rolls. So prepping for this one, have you done anything different given this new outlook on life, this new view of life, or is it the same? You're just doing it more intense, like as far as training goes?
I never, to be honest with you, I'm going to be straight up with you. I never trained before and until this
Really?
recently. So the last 2 months I've been training, from 1 to 4, the fights 1 to 4, I would just keep my weight on point, 174, 175. And then after the fight 4, I just started saying, let's just easy knock these dudes out. Well, then after that, I started weighing like 190, 200 pounds. And I walk around at 200 pounds. So I have to make sure my diet's on point a couple months out now. And I have been. I'm down to like almost 181. So I'm about 11 pounds off. But I still have 20 days. And the cardio things I'm doing, I like burpees. I'm a very big fan of burpees and ab wheel. Like I can do a standing ab. I can do a standing ab wheel. I can stand straight up, put the ab wheel straight down, and then do a standing ab wheel all the way out and all the way in, back to standing position.
You're a savage, dude. Those things aren't easy.
No, they're not easy, but you feel them. And then
No, they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah. And then the burpees on top of that, like if I don't do the ab wheel, then I'll do dips, and then I'll burn myself out on dips, and then I'll hit burpees. So when I burn myself out on something like lifting my heavy body weight, and then I go to burpees, it's a different. I know I'll look different when I come back. Everybody says I look different already. And yes, I'm definitely working out for this one, keeping it healthy, because I feel like we got to keep our blood flowing, keep it healthy going. When I cut 22 pounds on my last one and 19 pounds before that. And and I don't eat nothing for 4 days. So I'm eating nothing, drinking nothing, and I'm sitting in saunas, feeling like I'm going to die, and then I come out looking sucked up and unhealthy. Like you can tell, bro, the last 2 fights, I look like shit. And I want to come back and just be different.
No, I hear you. And it's funny. I don't mean to laugh at that, but it's funny what you guys go through to get to, it shows the professionalism, number one, but it also shows the professionalism to evolve it, right? Like you don't want to look all sucked, dehydrated on the scale, and you've learned that, which is huge because especially in this game, bro, like we know what it is. Like there's so much technique and nuance to it. And you don't know that till you become a slap nerd. But even to a casual fan, like we know what it is. And to dehydrate yourself and to do it like maybe a boxer might or an MMA fighter might, like, hey, I agree with you as far as your new technique. I think it's better. You don't want to be dehydrated going into slap.
Yeah. Kids, I don't think you have enough time to rehydrate 20 hours after weigh-in.
I don't think
at all.
No,
Everybody says I'm getting my 10 a 50-50 shot when I go up there. It's like, so I'm done with that 50-50 shit. 9 or 10 pounds is fine to cut because I think that's pretty easy. But I'm going to try to be coming in at like 177, maybe 176. That's when I land. March 1st, I'll land at, and I should be at like 177. I woke up this morning, I think I was like a 184 on the scale. I don't quite remember, but I usually use a couple pounds when I sleep.
Right. And when you land, if you got to cut 5-6 pounds, that's nothing in the sun. You can pull it off for sure. I went through a weight cut twice, but the first time I did it was fairly intense. I just did the hot bath and Epsom salt. Dude, it's unbelievable how
Michael Bisping did that to me. Yeah. Michael Bisping's the one that fucking introduced that salt bath to me. He's the one. Yeah, first time I ever cut weight, he's the one that put that stuff in my ear. And then he ended up getting. So I ended up asking for all that stuff that he told me. Holy shit, man! I couldn't sit in that bath. I had to jump out, jump back in, and jump out. So it was fucking miserable.
No, dude, it is not cool. People need to. I don't know. People need to go through that. I think, especially if they're kind of a fan of fighting. Look, you don't need to like kill yourself to make weight for a fight, but I think fans should go through a little bit just to know that experience. And having done that, I dropped like 11 pounds or something in a night. And it was the first time I had ever seen in like 9-10 years, I had seen a 1 in front of my weight. I was always 208, 205. Always. And then to see that 1, I was like, oh shit, this is kind of a a hard thing to go through, but then kind of a morale booster at the end of the thing.
That is cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. So you get there March 1st. Do you, kind of a weird question, man, but do you have any other plans besides the fight after you land in Vegas?
Okay, I've never went out when I've been there. I've never been the guy to went out, never went to no after parties, never went to no gambling, never have. Stay in my room, go fight, and leave the next morning back to my family. This time I'm going out and about. I'm gonna be involved. You know, I'm gonna I just want to bring life back to, I just want people to know who I am. I'm not the fucking guy that's always cutting weight in his room, hiding in his room. I don't like that. I don't even smoke pot anymore. I quit smoking pot a month and a half ago. So like, it's been a big thing. I was stoned the whole day, every day there, you know, and it's like not even worth it, dude. Like at the end, it's like, I'm don't get me wrong, I love it. It feels good and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it was just like, once I got it out of my body, I felt like I kind of was irritated for a few days. But once it's gone, like you get this different kind of way of thinking. Obviously, I don't feel like, I feel like I can think clear. I think that, I don't know, it's just a blessing, I'd say.
No, that's huge, man. I mean, no, wow. It's funny. Around here, I call it cannabis, not cannabis, because it puts me right to bed, baby. You just
yeah, that's good for sleep, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But when I do take those breaks, you know, when the effect isn't as strong or whatever, it's like 3-4 days, you know, nothing crazy. But man, I think you're right. You are a little bit sharper. You know what I mean? You are a little bit more involved with the things around you. I mean, you can't have one thing without it affecting another. And even though cannabis is, you know, dude, this is funny, bro. You'll like this. So I'm an 80s baby, right? So I knew if I even did weed, I'd be underneath the freeway, sucking some guy off, beating my wife, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Just like, because that's what they ingrained in your head as a kid. You're gonna be a bad human, you know. And so, brother, I waited so fucking long to try anything. I was like, I am a good person. I'm not trying any drugs, blah blah blah, right? And then I did a road trip with my boy to Denver to see Conor McGregor's documentary forever ago. It was playing in Denver. We live in Utah. So we drove to Denver, and I was like 32, 33 years old. Never done any drugs in my whole fucking life. And I'm like, screw this. I'm an adult. It's legal. I'm going to see what the fuss is about. So popped a couple edibles, and I got done. And the next day, I swear to you, all I could think of was, this is what the big deal is about? This is why we're chopping off heads in Mexico and like having all these ad campaigns to like, I thought I'd be scratching my neck and you like doing some heroin type shit or whatever. And it's just funny how your perception changes, but you still need to have it in check, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I love weed. Like, I don't think I'll be like done forever, but for now I'm like done. You know, I think that God put it on earth for like a medical reason. Sometimes we all suffer from anxieties or stuff like that, you know, or restless sleep. Like I have a real bad restless sleep. But I want to find something like maybe I can eat versus smoke and for bedtime or something, you know, just to help that. Yeah, weed's a good thing in many ways. You know, it helps a lot of people, even cancer guys. I mean, my uncle was dying from cirrhosis to the liver, and he couldn't eat. He couldn't eat at all unless he smoked. And then when he smoked, he would be able to eat normal, you know, and then that was the blessing.
Fascinating. So he couldn't, was it a swallowing thing or what?
No, I don't know. He just didn't have appetite, maybe. I don't know the whole thing, but he died at 31. He was my best friend.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was my foster parent. He was like they called him Rock Daddy. You know, he was the town's big drug dealer, but for some reason, so somehow he pulled out a fucking foster care license and got me at the foster care system. He would never, ever let me do no drugs. I mean, smoke pot and stuff like that, but he would never, like the hardcore drugs that my mom and stuff used to do with me, my dad, like he never let me do that stuff. And always made sure I was at school in the morning, like didn't no matter what he had on in his life, he didn't want that for me. And yeah.
This is the guy that foster cared you for a bit.
Huh? I was in foster care for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, for a minute.
Then he got me out of it.
Wow, what an impact. Wow, man. Dude, bro, you got a life, brother. What's going on? And you feel good these days? Like you're just smiling more and everything like that?
Yeah, I feel better. I feel a lot better. I gave up on my family. I didn't give up on just choose not to talk to them. You know, I don't get nothing. I don't benefit nothing from them. It's always goes backwards in life past. My mom will be the same person. I get that forever. My dad's the same person. I get that, you know, but I would never give my 11-year-old kid meth. And I wouldn't be smoking meth I was smoking meth with my mom and my dad at the age of 13 years old. I was my
Holy
mom's plug
shit.
by 14 years old. I was my mom's plug. And I had I think she was almost 22 years old. Her name was Amber Wilson. She died from overdose just last year or the year before. But that was my girlfriend. I was 14 years old, driving in cars, packing drugs, had guns. I held the highest assault rate in the state of Idaho for one whole solid year out of the whole fucking juvenile system. I held the highest assault rate. Like nobody, they called me Hannibal Lecter. And yeah, it was bad, dude. And like I was a troubled child. I'd say that for sure. I had no guidance
Well,
though. I did.
well, I was just going to say, I mean, that's a lot of info in a short amount of time right there. But given what you had to go through, I would say, well, of course you fucking were. I mean, any kid would be violent and wow, man, that's fascinating. One little question on that, then let's get back to the fight. When you're that young, dude, and what you just described is like a lot, right? Do you look back and this isn't a rhetorical question, I swear. When you look back at that, are you grateful in a way? Are you pissed off? Do you look at it as, do you know what I mean? Because the person you are
Yeah.
now is such a different person.
I think it molded me into the person I am. I do get hurt sometimes when I go back to think, like I still don't understand because they still do the stuff they do now, like they're still doing it. And it's like, it really messes with me. Like I just, why wouldn't I want to say, hey, mom, I love you. Hey, dad, I love you. I'm proud of you. I know that life was rough and it dealt us shitty hands, but look at, I got to break the generational curse. I got to break the cycle of my family. And that's what matters to me in the long run. I look back on it. And the only thing that I think about is like, damn, I used to think it was so cool to be able to do whatever I wanted, but now that I think of it, I was like, I wish my parents would have said, listen, fucker, and slapped the piss out of me and told me no, but I didn't get that opportunity now. And I had to learn everything on my own, man. I didn't have nothing, I was kicked out before 18. So like I had to like be with girls I didn't want to be with just to have a place to live. Like it was fucked up, stuff I didn't want to do. And it was just all fucked up. The only time that my mom would let me be there is if I had something to offer in the drug world. Like if I had pills, if I had this, that's the only time I was welcomed around basically. So, you catch on to that shit. The older you get, I wish I would have grew up a little bit faster, but I'm only 33 and I have like a whole amount of time ahead of me to, show and lead by my, like, I've seen every area of life, dude. I've seen dead. I've seen stabbings. I've seen shootings. I've seen it all, bro. And it's like, I don't know. That's not what I want to live like, at all.
Yeah, no. And so that begs another question from me. So how in the world, so when you first got into Power Slap, you were part of that first crew, right? Like figuring out rules and things like that, right? So how did you find it? Was it an ad on Instagram or Facebook? Was it through word of mouth?
My kids' mother, I was just fighting MMA just to blow steam because like
Fishing
they always call
too?
me, yeah, they called me always ready Chris Thomas because it didn't matter who it was. I would fight him. I'd step in 200 pounds. I mean, I fought Sterling Rich and he's 5-0 and has a championship belt.
Yeah.
He was like 6'3", bro, like 215 pounds. But I stepped in and fought him. And then I just did that to blow steam. I want to end up a bare knuckle champion one day. That's what I feel like. I feel like I have enough stuff behind me, I've seen enough and done enough that I could get enough healthy shape and be able to beat somebody with my fist. Like I've never lost. If it was just fist against fist, I've never lost. For some reason I can keep myself going.
So does Power Slap allow you to do that? Go back and forth a little bit?
I don't think they would mind. I'm not going to do something that offers me less money anymore. I have a good little manager guy who looks out for me. He says, dude, I'm not going to let you go sacrifice. It was a pro division. I was supposed to make a pro debut February 15th, matter of fact. And, dude, Coach Pablo's a good guy. He's the one that got me all my fights, And, I was going to make my pro debut, but this dude that I was going to see is a 4-time state champion. I was just a pawn. I would have been fucking probably my shit handed to me. And they offered me like 700 and 700 to win. My guy's like, hey, you're not worth that. You don't want to. I don't know how you say it. You don't want to make yourself worth that much. You should be worth a lot more when you go face somebody on a card because the name I've created for myself. I know it's a slap thing, but at the same time, it's a big platform.
Yeah, well, you've got a big following and everything. So, I mean, I would say you picked the right avenue,
And this is my second Instagram. I lost my other Instagram. That off of season 1, he was rolling. I had Dana White, all of them follow me. He was rolling. I was up at like 8,000 something, but I was talking shit too much. And now I don't, but they fucking kept warning me. And then one day it just fucking ghosted. The whole thing just ghosted out. I couldn't find it, couldn't do it. So I lost that one. So I had to start all over. So I lost all my season 1 fans. Because once you lose your fans, they're hard to get back, bro. Like, they're not going to like refollow. Sometimes they refollow, but the ones that are not really into the shit and they follow you once, like, you're not going to get them back. So I want to get all my people back. I know I've got a chunk of people, but like, I want to get, I mean, I
You
don't
want
know.
all of it back.
Yeah, I want them all back. And I just feel like everybody like thinks that I still have that profile, or they don't notice because I haven't been really active. I don't know. To me, it's like, I'll get it all back. I just got to show my real person.
Yeah, I mean, outside looking in and getting to know you a little bit. Honestly, man, you should do some reels or lives just talking about your story because inspiration feeds positive eyeballs. And it just, dude, I guarantee if you did that and you had, you helped another person or whoever, and they say, "Oh, thanks for sharing," that would fill you up with so much more validation.
Absolutely. That's what I feel like. That's what I figured out. I feel like when I can help somebody else, it makes me feel more whole. So like, I'd rather, and just like my girlfriend said, like my baby mama, she said, what is it called? My love language is gifting, I think. Like,
Okay, sure.
that's like, I like to give people stuff. Like, that's a way, like, I show my love, I guess. I don't know what I meant, but like, that's what she said.
No, that is an actual love language, man. My girl had me do that thing too as well. That's great. So March is approaching. You wanna in a sense not prove yourself, but you want to just show people, hey, I'm still here, is what it feels like. And you've got this new outlook on life, and you're just rolling, you're doing your thing. It sounds like you're on the right track, which is amazing. So March, it goes your way. What do you do? Do you grab the mic and just leverage that moment to the hills? Do you just kind of soak it in? Have you even thought
Yeah,
about?
I want to, after I win this, I'm going to call out the people that I lost to. I want to start where I lost at and go from there. I'm not trying to get any more easy fights. I want the people I lost to. That's it. I've never had a rematch with any of them, and I'm the only one to drop Manny on his ass. So if I would have lifted that one hit just a little bit, it would have dropped him. I probably would have got a clean knockout, But I was so low that it rocked him some bit, dropped him on his ass. He was able to walk off. I got called for a club. But at the same time, they're not going to want a champion like the shit I was doing before that, like, they're not going to want to support me when I'm doing shit like that. They're going to want to support me more when I'm doing stuff I'm doing now, and it's like, you have to look a champion and play the part. And I was just soggy and gross and just not caring, and that's not what I want to look like anymore. Like, I want to take power slap to a whole new level. Like, I feel like in a way it's a part of me always. And I've been the first to everything. I was the first knockout. I was the first championship belt, the first live match. So like, I got to experience the first of everything, and my goal is to get my belt back at 175, and I want to go up to 185. I'm not going down in weight. A lot of these guys like to run down in weight. Like, they act like we hit softer down low. No, it gets harder. I think the 155ers are even more dangerous. Them motherfuckers, their speed and their slaps are even harder, I mean, some of the new guys I've seen, it's just ridiculous. And I feel like the heavier you go, the easier it gets, honestly. Like, if you could be 270 pounds, and just slap each other's fat rolls, I mean, you're going to survive a lot more better. I get it, but some of those dudes I don't understand. If you're throwing that much weight around, dude, that dude should be sleeping. If I'm throwing 170 pounds to your face and I'm making this dude go into a comatose, then why can't you take 420 pounds and break that dude's neck, fucking jaw, everything? I don't even get it. Makes no sense to me. They eat it like candy, but
Yeah, it is. It is funny how the weight class, at least so far in Slap, the weight class is just kind of the weight class. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean you're a harder or more accurate hitter if you weigh way more.
right. Exactly. I could gain all that weight. I could probably I think my highest weight was like 244 pounds. So I can get up there. I wouldn't want to face the DeBell because he's got the hit down and he's got the jaw. So he's one of my favorite.
Dude, sorry. Yeah, I'm stumbling because I'm thinking about, we watched DeBell and Dorian last time in Vegas.
That was a good one.
Yo, that was a war, right? Like,
Yeah.
And people had doubts about Dorian because of, his history as well. And he fucking proved himself, dude.
Yeah, he did. I like that match. I think that should be a rematch, obviously, but that was a good. I actually was really excited for the both of them, and I'm sure DeBell was like, oh fuck,
Yeah, dude. Like,
DeBell's such
what's
a humble
this?
dude. Yeah, when he was running season one, he was assistant coach in season one, with Wolverine was our coach. DeBell was such a humble guy. He had all the heavyweights calling him out, talking shit, and all the ones that called him out were talking shit. They eventually met up with him and got knocked the fuck out. So him holding his tongue and being humble as he is paid off, because I feel like no matter what, we create our own karma. And I just feel like, I don't know, just up on that stage, you just got to not have no fear, no anxiety. You got to know what you're about before you go up there, So that's my goal, to show people, like, it was a fluke. What happened to me was a fluke.
Dude, I love that mentality. So your only goal is finish job, and once the mic comes up, call up those guys you've lost and avenge some losses.
Yeah, that's my goal. I want to go back. I honestly feel like I should get a rematch with Anthony Blackburn right away after this, because the fact that I stepped up, 62 days later after I got knocked out, I took 6 slaps from Manny Muniz. It took me 2 weeks to heal my jawline. I could barely bite down for 2 weeks after that. My face was swollen, everything, facet, And then, so it's like 43 days out, I get to call for, it was Jules Scott. And so I was like, okay, fuck, I'll go with Jules Scott. And then at the last minute, they switched it to Anthony Blackburn. I said, okay, whatever. I just let them go with whatever they want. And so I was like, I had 43 days of rest after that knockout I just went through. And I feel like the way Blackburn leads with his hand, he'll hit with his wrist bone first. Like, even if you watch the last one with Manny, he tries to dig in your face, like with the, don't move your hand at all. Just keep it flat and slap. And they all talk shit about my hit is because when I do push-ups, I don't know if you're in school, you did the twist your arm back and forth thing.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could do that the same thing to the face. So when you're up on the face, put your elbow out. So when you're hitting them, it makes you it's like a rubber arm, bro, in all reality. And I don't feel no pain, but they think I hit unlegit. And most of the time I only hit with my top of my hand right here. Like, I'll catch them here.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so, like, I feel like that's an excuse. I hope power slap catches on and don't let those dudes keep running from me. Like, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1, and the champion, I can never get a response back from them, bro, because they know. Look at Anthony Blackburn did his skates, but I was so rocked after that first one he hit, I was trying my best to throw the best I could. So now, if I win the coin toss, I have a 100% finish rate. I've never, ever not finished a person off coin toss win.
Yeah. So we want that coin toss as well to boot. Get it.
Yeah.
Even more confidence. Dude, what do you think about
now?
What do you think about?
It's good. I love Isaiah. I've always loved him. I've had his back since day one. That was my problems with Emmanuel Muniz right off the get, because of how they treated him in season 1, just because he drank a little too much. He was bored, he got drunk and he would do some stupid shit. He had butted me, bro. My fucking nose, my lips were bleeding, but I didn't hold it against him. I just knew he was too fucked up. But Isaiah, I don't honestly think that they're in a rush to move him because of how good he does at 185. I mean, he'd probably do a lot better at 170, but I'm just saying he does good at 185. He holds his grounds, and I just think he needs to get his hit down a little bit more, because he's throwing the hit sometimes great, but there's so much more power that guy has. So much more power, but 170, he'd be a wreck.
Yeah, I feel like for whatever reason in that moment, they just wanted to shake things up a little bit because, Manny and Blackburn, they put a war, son, like back and forth, but then it's like, who's next? You know what I mean? So it's a good opportunity to bring in new blood, but also validate everything we've been talking about. It's a massive opportunity for yourself, because they're like, they need somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they bring some life to that division. And I feel like Joel Scott just gets to sit. I think he's going to be the next championship out with Anthony Blackburn, honestly, or he's going to get to fight one of the. I honestly do. I think he complains enough and cries enough. I think he's like 45 years old too. I don't know. So, like,
hey, bro, we should look. Let's look it up. I don't know how old Jewel is either. Let's do this, bro. Jewel,
like,
keep talking, man.
He made a comment the other day saying he's at the top of the game, been at the top of the game forever. Man, motherfucker didn't do nothing special. I mean, you lost against Jesus Gaspar, and then I ended up knocking Jesus Gaspar after you were done with him. So it's like, how the fuck are you ranked above me? You've never faced any of the dudes I faced. And I know I didn't face nobody special, but the first 2 dudes I faced, when they were like 186, 190 pounds, the King was big. Chris Kennedy was a fucking bulldozer. and I was able to deplete both of them, you know, and I don't know, it's just a fucking excuse to.
No, dude, you're good. Here, let me share my screen real quick, bro. We're gonna get to the bottom of this age thing. I didn't think he was he was this old. All right, one sec, man. Share. All right, can you see that, brother?
Yeah. How much does it say he is? 5 and 5?
5 and 5. So everyone, we're looking at Tapology right now. And we just want to get some stats on Jewel. So yeah,
He's 40.
he's 40 years old. 5 wins, 5 draws. And oh no, 5 losses, no draws. Okay. So yeah, dude, bro's 40, man. He's a savage for getting up there at that age. I guess Burns a little bit closer to that age as well, but yeah, I didn't know he was 40.
I just don't like that he's a bench warmer. Like, he gets to pick and choose. Like, it doesn't make no sense. Like, I could have done that at my championship match, but like, the first person I asked for was Manny Muniz. Right when he entered the division, that's who I wanted the biggest. Every time anybody enters my division, I see that they're a problem, I ask for him. Dana White can clarify that with you, because he's the one that said, okay, you know, I don't ask for nothing that's, you know, if they're bigger than me or if they're doing something and they're making noise, I want them right away. You know, I like to challenge myself. I don't know, it just.
Do you think
But damn,
you put yourself in that position to quit?
I just think I took it as a fucking joke. Like, I rolled off the couch and cut all that weight and then went up on stage. You know, but if I rolled off the couch, no exercise, cut 20-something pounds, and still took 6 slaps from Manny, that motherfucker's got something coming big now. Like, he has no idea what's going to hit him now. Like, he knows. I know he knows. But, yeah, it's going to be a different story now.
Dude, I love that. Well, dude, I'm so happy you came on. We covered a lot today, man.
Yeah, brother.
I'm so glad we did this. And we're going to be out in Vegas March 4th and 5th. And since you're going to be on the card, we learned a lot last time. So before we were just there a day, but it was like 7 hours to get through it all. So we're going to break it up. If you're on the card, come see us March 4th if you can. I know there's a lot going on that week. And then if you're not on the card, we'll be there the 5th. So yeah, man, if you land the 1st, come see us on the 4th. We'll do one more promo for the match. You know what I mean? Have some soda or whatever, and we'll get it done. And yeah, I just want to say thank you, man. It means a lot that you came on, and I'm so excited for this next card and for just to see your career go.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. I was sketched out on you at first, but that's how I am with everybody. I study you guys, and then I'll either make a choice in my head, and then I'm glad I made the decision to talk to you. You're a good man. Appreciate you, brother.
No, man, I really appreciate that. All right, let's let this bitch upload. 1 second. Okay, that's the show. I hope you loved it or lusted it. Like, subscribe, share. Until next time.